Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you the real wealth secret, the real path to how to move from this level to this level to this level. But first, I got to get you to understand a certain premise because you've been taught and I've been taught that it's just mindset, or it's just a series of habits, or it's environment, or it's buying this course, or it's all of these things. And it's like, yes, those things are a broad summation of what really needs to be said, but the root, the seed, the base of how to move from this level to this level, many times we as middle class people, we do it all the time, but we don't know that we are actually doing the thing that many people are trying to get us to buy. So listen, check your toolbox, check your mental toolbox, because somebody may be trying to charge you for something that you already have in your storehouse. Okay, so to understand how to get from this level to this level, how to get that thing going, how to go from this paycheck to that paycheck, how to move in certain kind of ways, you got to understand that middle class or any of the classes have a certain thing called a speed. A speed. See, it's easy to see because when you look at certain levels of class, you can see the money flow in that class versus the class that you're in versus the class that you're looking to. You can see that there is a different flow. There is a different current that's going on. So let me take you, before I give you the answer, listen, look to the end of this video, listen. I want to show you something. When you look at the poverty class, the people that you see on the street, the unhoused people, that's what they're calling them now. They're calling them unhoused. This particular class of people are what I like to call creatively slow. Now, I've done a full video on this on my page, so I'll share the link with you so you can go straight to that video. I go more in depth on it, but I'm just touching on it right now. Okay, so the poverty class, they are creatively slow. So you see them on the side of the street, but you don't see them just, in many cases, all the time, just laying around. These people are carrying carts. These people are building tents. These people are building fires. They find a way to eat. They find a way to clothe themselves. So that's why I said creatively slow, because on that particular level, the speed of life, you have so much time to be creative in things that you do, good or bad, because it can go either direction in the poverty class because they're strictly in survival. So they're creatively slow. So when they're trying to move from poverty, let's say, to lower middle class, there is a certain speed that they're going to have to go. There are certain parameters they're going to have to lock in order for them to maintain their seat on that particular class. Would you agree with that? Okay, let me show you something in comparison. Look, when you get to the middle class, we as middle class people, we are strategically like a moderate to fast walk. So we're power walkers. We're power walkers on the middle class. Our particular class, reason why it's strategic, because we have resources, not a whole lot of resources, but on our level we have so many other parasites like taxes and different things and legislation that's constantly trying to stop our progress. So the difference between us and the poverty class is that the poverty class, there are many handouts to poverty-stricken people. That's a fact. It's more legislation to help the people who are poverty-stricken versus to help the working class people who are the ones that's working in the companies that's the CEOs are lobbying. But listen, I ain't finna step on those kind of toes. So it's the middle class is a moderate to fast walk. So in order for poverty people to get on this class, they got to think about how fast they have got to be moving to be considered middle class. Can you see where I'm going? Keep rolling with me. Watch this. Now, if we keep moving down the list, I want to stay in frame. I want to keep moving down the list. When you look at rich class, the people who are rich, not wealthy, they're rich. They're over the $1 million level. They're established in a different kind of way. So there's many definitions of rich. I would say they are highly established class. Okay. So when you look at the rich in comparison to the middle class and the poverty, the rich class is a calculated run. I want y'all to pay attention how I'm naming this stuff. They are a calculated run. Middle class people understand being rich is more than a income net worth statement. These people are calculating. They are calculating. If you don't believe me, have you heard of a man named Myron Goldman? Listen to Myron Goldman's teachings. Most of the things he say are very calculated things. It's this adding to this times this divided by that minus that. They're very calculated. And that's one of the major things that middle class people don't understand when they're trying to make that leap up to being rich. They don't understand it's calculated. It's not just you jumping into the current and you're trying to run the same speed as this person. Like, you'll hear middle class people and they'll be talking about, Warren Buffett and these Elon Musk and these high level people, and they talk as if they understand what it's like to be them. You understand, the taxes that Warren Buffett pays or Kevin O'Leary or somebody. It's like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand how calculated these people got to be. You don't get it yet because you don't know what it's like to run at that pace. Okay, so there is a different pace in all classes. So when you're thinking about moving from one to another, what you got to think about, what kind of pace are they moving? They're not just running. Being rich is not just about the money. It's about relationships. It's about other things that I don't understand yet because I'm a middle class person, but I could tell you a whole lot what's going on in the middle class all day long because, we'll get into that another time. But anyway, so we get down to the wealthy class. The wealthy class are a strategic cruise. Now, when you get on the wealthy class, they're not slow. They're not walking fast. They're not running. They're strategically cruising. They're strategically cruising. How do I know that? Many people always reference Andrew Carnegie. They reference Rockefeller. They reference these type of people. There was these big conglomerates, these big millionaire magnates that at this point, you look at Jeff Bezos, is Jeff Bezos really doing a calculated run right now on his level? Is he really running? No, he's at the point where he's strategically cruising at this particular time. So how can a poverty person understand the life of a middle class person when you don't even understand the pace you're going to have to run to even be initiated into that particular class? Do you understand what I'm saying? So as a middle class person, when you're trying to move up in ranks just within the middle class, you're not trying to be rich. You're not trying to be wealthy. You're trying to keep yourself as far as you can from poverty to be able to maintain the taxes and the rising cost of inflation and goods and all this stuff. You want to kind of be on the higher level. When you're trying to move up those levels, think about this. What is the pace that I must run on whatever level that I need to get on? Listen, I started as a warehouse worker in a warehouse. I am now a Class A semi-truck driver. The warehouse worker made about $40,000 a year. The semi-truck driver makes $100,000 a year. But when I understood that the taxes that they took from my check when I was making $40,000 is totally different from what they're pulling out of my check right now. You know, it's interesting that we never consider that the more that you make, the more that is going to be required. So if the more that I'm making and the more that I'm going to be required, what does that run look like? See, I truly believe that the reason why you have not broken through to that next level is because how you are approaching it, how you are thinking about it is stagnating your thoughts. You're thinking, oh, I got to get all of my ducks in a row. I got to do this. It's like, no, see, if you're trying to go to the rich level, think about it. How many of us are way smarter than the person who started the company? You're probably smarter than your actual departmental manager, you know, but yet these people are over you. So when you're thinking about the rich class, you can't rely on being the smartest person in the room. You got to look at what is the pace, what is the flow, how are these people moving? And when you can understand how they're moving, basically saying what is required, then you're beginning to broach that interest point to know what it's like to be on that level. Hey, don't this make sense? Listen, as a middle class person, before I let anybody convince me that my life is not where it's supposed to be, I look at the fact that, okay, I hear what you're saying and I'm not disagreeing, but what I'm looking at is, do I really want to run at the pace that you're saying? Okay, you're telling me to start this particular kind of business, but if I start that business, that means that I'm going to have to run at this pace. I'm going to have to deal with this. I'm going to have to set up this. I'm going to have to create this. And this is going to now be my new schedule, because let me refer back. The schedule I have now as a Class A driver is different than the schedule I had when I was a warehouse worker. 2 different incomes, 2 different responsibility, 2 different demands. But you got to understand that so you would be willing and accepting of whatever risk you're thinking about taking. Right? Listen, I hope this is very helpful for you, and I hope if you have stayed with me thus far, listen, thank you so much. But hey, get ready, because I'm creating a journal for all of my loyal visitors that I want to just give you something just to help you, because I believe that you're going somewhere, and I just want to be a fly in your ear, encouraging you all the way. So listen, wait, that's coming. So the speed is the key to wealth creation that many people don't tell you. They don't tell you the speed. They tell you all the techniques, the strategies, the how to create leads, how to do. I mean, just think about it. In order to become a monetized influence on this particular channel of YouTube, there is a certain frequency that you have to post in videos, and there are certain type of videos you have to post, and you have to post them in a certain kind of way. You know, there's a certain model that you got to follow. So if you don't understand the flow of where you're going, then even when you're trying to break that wall down, you find that, hey, nothing is moving. Nothing is moving because you don't understand the velocity you need in order to get the wall to fall. And many times it's something as simple as looking at those of you who are ahead of you, and instead of trying to recreate the wheel, literally just model what they're doing, and don't spend your time questioning why you are smarter than them. Because on certain levels, your aptitude, right? Your knowledge base is not a prerequisite to getting on that level. So you can be smarter than this person, but this person has more of the thing that you actually desire. So are you trying to compete in that realm, or do you want the result? You see what I'm saying? So, man, I love being on middle class because I'm a middle class person that took the time to understand where I am, why I think the way that I think. So when I'm making a move forward, I'm making a move as a middle class person, learning what it is to be a rich person, not a rich person who is on the middle class level and, you know, I'm bigger than the middle class level, I'm better than this. You know how people think. It's like, no, be who you are right now. Be okay with the class you on right now, but aspire to go further. Don't be on this level looking down like, oh my God, you know, it just, you know, I'm better than it. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're better than this. You're not running at that pace. And until you run at that pace, it don't matter what you think about you. It's not your security about you. It's your ability to understand where you're going. I say it a lot, and I hope you guys are still here. Hey, my name is Starsky Inspires. Hey, listen, check me out on the next episode. I'm still talking about middle class mindset, learning how to know your worth and stick to your plan. Hey, check me out in the next episode. See you later.